My name is Dr. Amy Braun, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. And I'm the global communications lead for a luxury German car company. When I reviewed my job materials recently, I saw that it sounded very student-focused. It sounded very much like, I'm a grad student, I have experience in a university, but what it didn't say was, how this could really apply to a non-academic setting. So if I were to go through and do it again, I would emphasize, I can work with a team. I led these projects. I spearheaded these projects. I took on these tasks. I supported other team members, in a different field, building global partnerships. So being able to kind of shift my lingo a little bit from being completely academic focused into I led this, I created, I co-created, and just emphasizing your ownership in the role in a different way. One of the resources I used was Who Says It's a Man's World? So it's a kind of a woman's guide to moving into corporate. So pay attention to the verbs that the author uses there. Pay attention to the types of phrases and the types of activities that she describes in that book. It was really helpful. Also doing a quick Google search about corporate language and corporate lingo can help you do the same thing. And once again, maybe highlight some of the phrases on those online resources, copy and paste them, put them right into a Word document so that you kind of have a rolling, lexicon of different phrases that you can use that will make you sound less academic and more like you're ready to transition into a corporate setting. Number one for the communications field, cast a very broad net. So first you can go through your Facebook friends and see who's doing something that sounds really interesting. Reach out to them and talk to them. Also reach out to friends of family, anyone within your network who's doing something interesting. Go to your career center at your university and see what resources they have. If you have a graduate center, ask them as well. What I have found is that for communications roles, most of what is posted on LinkedIn or on Google, they're entry-level positions. And which is challenging because sure, you can apply to that, but you're highly overqualified for that. I mean, you probably have 4 to 6 years of very specialized training in what you're doing. So even when you do apply into those particular roles, you will either need to start off at the bottom and then prove yourself and then work your way up. Or when you get the job offer, have the employer fall in love with you, they give you this job offer, and then you say, well, actually, given my skills and qualifications, the pay band level for this is actually much lower than someone with my level of skill set. So I'd like to talk about where we can do some moving in terms of the pay band and also the types of responsibilities that are written into my job description. Get as involved as you possibly can in your community and on campus, and look for specific tasks and responsibilities that you can emphasize on your resume or on your CV, but look for tasks and responsibilities that don't necessarily have the word student in them. Because as soon as an employer sees that word student, they're automatically thinking about whatever, college experience they may have had. Maybe they were a serious college student, maybe they weren't. But a lot of folks don't really understand how rigorous a PhD program is. And so even when you put graduate student, all that they see on there is student. So if you are, say, the graduate student editor for the Harvard, sciences department, whatever you have, try to take out that word student, or see if there's a way that position can be framed within the university in a way that doesn't have student titled on there, because that will really make you stand out as a professional, which you really are as a PhD student, but it'll help you stand out as a professional and not immediately flag you as someone who has spent all of their time in the books and not a lot of time in the real world.